All right, Iowa, we're going to take a look at your next two chances of snow, including a possible snowstorm for your Wednesday. It is Sunday, February 9th. Looking outside right now, things are pretty clear across the Midwest. We do have a winter storm watch here in central Kansas, but Iowa's looking great right now for early February. Our first chance of snow will actually be tomorrow, Monday, starting in the afternoon to overnight hours, and we're not really expecting a whole lot of detrimental weather out of this. Very light amount of snow falling across the state. Looking at our expected totals from the European model, heaviest up here in west central Iowa, maybe an inch. The GFS, a little less aggressive, heaviest amounts up there near Lyon County. Um, Again, overall, mostly affecting the northwest portion of the state. And just for good measure, we're going to look at a shorter range, higher resolution model, the HRRR, and that is not a wrestling name, but a model. And yeah, places like Spencer and Orange City, maybe looking at 2 inches. We'll have to see what actually develops. National Weather Service is calling for between 1/2 to 1.5 inches of snow out of this first system on your Monday. But let's take a look at our current satellite image, and just something of interest. You can see the clouds not moving up here in the Siouxland area and the Iowa-Minnesota border, and they're actually shrinking a little bit. That snow that is melting, it's not super warm out, but the sun's getting high enough in the sky this time of year that it's having a little bit of effect on that light snow that fell earlier late this week, last week. Generally partly cloudy across the state. Main reason I brought this here was to show you where our storm is coming from, and it's out here in the Pacific. This mass will eventually track like so across the southern U.S., and that on the back side of the system will be responsible for our storm on Wednesday. This is the European model look at noon for your Wednesday, and this is about peak intensity for the state of Iowa. You can see snow across most of the state, heaviest amounts down there in southern and southeast Iowa. And the storm itself really is going to track pretty far to our south, down around Arkansas and Louisiana. And the overall pattern here in the country is what we call zonal. So these isobars you can see here predominantly are going straight west to east. There's not a lot of up and down or meridional movement with our systems. And you have all these high pressures up here control the northern half, and low pressures, stormy weather down in the southern portion of the country. This again, the European look, the GFS, very much the same. It's actually pushing the storm a little bit farther south yet, with maybe the northwest part of Iowa not getting as much snow. And as we look to the totals, that's kind of the case here. The European model being more aggressive with that slightly, very slightly more northern track. You know, we're looking at from Atumwa to Quad Cities, Clinton, 4 inches. Just barely a scant amount of snow up here in the northwest. Des Moines, maybe getting 3 inches. And the GFS pushing that low further south. You can see those totals are quite a bit less down here in southern Iowa. I guess 3 inches to 4 inches. This isn't a huge difference, but overall a less aggressive look. Now, to go along with all these high pressures stacked up here in the northern U.S., as you've probably learned from videos we've talked about recently in the month of January, this time of year that generally means cold weather. And here are your temperatures for noon on Wednesday. You can see 10 degrees in Des Moines, 12 around there, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids. So what snow does fall should be very light and powdery. And luckily, the storm's far enough away, and without a lot of impact, our gusts aren't really going to exceed 20 miles per hour if we even get to that point. Gustiest winds, again, will be down there in southeast Iowa. So overall, as far as storms go, not a terrible looking storm, but we haven't had very much snow this winter, so might be a treat for some of you. Personally, I'm past the point where I just want to get on to spring at this point, especially severe weather and storm chasing. But With that said, do appreciate you watching. Maybe consider hitting the like button and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good night.